Hi, everybody. Welcome to the FarFetched Artist Talk. I'm Darian Wigfall, Director of Operations for FarFetched, here with Wes Gray. Say what up, Wes.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Thanks for joining me today, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, for
I'm
sure,
just,
man. My pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm just talking to folks folks that are artists during this COVID-19 shutdown situation about how you've been reacting and what you're working on. Just kind of like get into your career and stuff like that, and just see where the conversation goes.
Cool.
So let's start off. How did you react or respond to everything with coronavirus and shelter in place orders? Like, yeah, what was your general situation?
Well, at the time, it was a blend of things. I'm in my last semester of school right now,
Hmm.
so I pretty quickly realized I was not going to have very much to deal with school wise, which was really nice actually because I am a very creative person and school takes a lot of my time. So I now had more time to focus on like my creative endeavors.
Word.
Um, so that was cool. It's more just been a process of like figuring out what my daily routine is,
Mm,
like I'm not really somebody who likes to regiment my schedule, especially
okay.
for creative stuff, but just figuring out how I want to fill my days.
Mm-hmm.
So it started off it didn't actually start off with music. I started off once I started quarantine, I started doing a lot of painting
Hmm. Okay.
and just kind of connecting with my visual side more. Trying to do home improvement stuff like
Yeah.
painting my hallway. My hallway looked disgusting. It was like it was like half pink, like Pepto Bismol pink, and then the other half was like some ripped off wallpaper. It was gross. So
Okay.
I like painted
Yeah.
that over, and then doing home improvement stuff. Then that just led to me doing actual paintings on some canvases and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just
That's
kind of
dope.
started with that, and trying to do like calisthenics routines and
Okay.
things like that.
Staying in
Just
shape.
focusing more on my like physical well being as well.
I feel that.
Um,
Is
yeah.
that one of your paintings on the wall over your shoulder?
Yeah. That
Right.
let me kind of,
Can we see that
that's
real?
yeah, that's some stuff. And then I got a crazy ceiling too. I did
Oh
that
yeah, that's wild.
as well. Yeah, yeah. Just
Right.
it's like if I'm gonna be stuck inside, I might as well, finesse it.
Yeah.
So
Make it work for you for
yeah,
sure.
right.
So, what are you currently working on? Have things evolved? Are you working on music now, or just like, yeah, where's your music at? What are you doing with that?
So right now, musically, I've got this collaboration project I've been doing with Chase Sanchez.
Okay.
He's staying over at this spot called Tiny Town. There's like a lot of musicians there. It's pretty much all musicians,
Right.
and it kind of just we were making music together, and everybody from the house just started kind of coming in on sessions,
Mm.
and
Hmm.
we ended up making an EP.
Wow.
So I think it's called Tangerine
Tangerine.
or
Okay.
something. I'm not gonna say the name of it. It's unnamed right now. But
Untitled.
every title is a food. Like so
Okay.
the whole thing is like food culinary oriented.
Interesting.
Um so that's been really, really cool. I mean, just having another place that I can like be at that I know is safe.
Mm-hmm.
But also just to be able to get back into music. It's been
Yeah.
kind of really interesting revisiting the process of like starting from scratch making something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like quarantine has kind of taught me how to take things step by step.
Yeah. Slow it
Um,
down.
yeah, slow it down. And by slowing it down, we've actually got something done faster than any other project.
Mm.
So,
Wow. How long did it take for the project with Che to come about?
about 2 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was really, I was kind of amazed to be honest. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never had a project go that fast and be as good as it is.
Right.
So, yeah,
Who made the beats? Was it you and Che on the production, or is there
yep.
anyone? Okay.
Yeah, primarily Che on the production. I added little things here and there. But yeah, it was Che on production. He also did all the mixing and mastering as well. So
Okay.
he really went
Okay.
in on it and it sounds great. So
Awesome. Can't wait to hear. I think you put something on social media about us dropping on Friday. Is that
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes, it is. It is dropping on Friday. So
So Friday, what's today? 11th. Friday, May 18th. That project should drop. We'll be looking out
mhm.
for that. Of course, I'm biased towards what you do with FarFetched. Everybody out there, if you don't already know, Wes Gray is one half of Subtle Aggression, but he's also a individual artist with FarFetched. He dropped Bluebird.
Yep,
He dropped
Bluebird. Got a couple tracks. I got Affirmation. It's one
okay.
of my singles. Also a really dope video. You can check that out on the FarFetched YouTube page.
There you go.
And I got my most recent single is called My Garage, featuring
Mm-hmm.
Styles. It's
My
pretty
jam.
lit. You know what I mean? Yeah, just a little bopper
Little
for the
bopper.
people. You know? Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So we got some stuff in the works for sure.
Cool. Yeah, we talked to Poet X on Friday. That'll be coming out later, but he said that there's maybe some Sam stuff in the works. Is that
Yeah,
true?
that
All
is
right.
definitely true. We've got a single that we are just waiting to put out.
Okay.
We're gonna shoot a video first
Word.
before we drop it. But we're looking forward to just hopping back in from scratch and just starting to reorganize and just kind of, I feel like every time we take a break in what we do from each other and we
Hmm.
work on our own stuff and we come back together, it's like a totally new process, new energy,
Yeah.
and it's just revamped. So I feel like right now we're kind of in the process of putting out some of the things we made about last year and
Mm,
then go from there, take that momentum and start creating new stuff
for this
with
year.
that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always something. There's always something.
Yeah, man. That's
Going
what's
on.
up, though. I'm glad to hear you working hard and staying diligent, staying productive, man. I'm looking forward to listening to a lot of that music, and I'm sure if you have any fans out there watching right now, they're waiting for that music as well. And I'm
For
sure you will.
sure. For sure.
So, what's one of the things that you miss most about having to stay at home from
Oh
like when we
man,
were in
that's a
school?
good question. I mean, I definitely miss going to work, surprisingly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And also like the other aspects of like I could get a second job now and all that
Yeah.
like I found my job personally to be a helpful part in like my creative process.
Mm,
Since I do janitorial work and cleaning and stuff,
hmm.
like late night, I would just go in and I could test mixes, like really
Mm,
just kind of stay in my creative zone while I'm doing other stuff.
hmm.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I mean, I also miss like shows for sure. It's
Yeah.
weird not being able to go to shows. And I
Yeah.
didn't even think about how many shows I went to until there were no more shows. And now I'm like, oh my God.
Right. What do I
You know what I
do?
mean? Yeah. Yeah. So I think it is cool though, the way that people are like figuring out new ways to entertain and,
Hmm. Hmm.
come together. These live streams are just popping off now.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I don't know if you saw the Erica Badu, Jill Scott one yet, but
yeah. Yeah.
fire, bro. Apparently, they broke the internet. My partner was saying that they had like over the course of the viewing, there's like 1 billion people that watched it. So like, yeah. And when I was on, there was like 650,000 people on
Oh
it.
my God.
Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate people doing that. And speaking of, are you interested? We did a little session with you freestyling, but are you
Yeah.
thinking about doing any live stream stuff or?
Oh, I would love to, man. I
Okay.
mean, I've been doing freestyle FaceTime sessions with a lot of my homies
Tight,
lately.
tight.
And that's been really fun, man. Like I even if it's just a cappella or with a beat, like we just put it on
Hmm.
the laptop and just go,
That's tight.
And it's a good time, man. It's a lot of fun.
Man, that could be a whole series of videos for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep that
Yeah,
in
I
mind.
feel like, as long as I'm finding ways to stay creative, like throughout the days, I'm cool.
Yeah,
That's definitely for me though, that's my livelihood. If I'm not doing something creative, I'm just gonna I don't know, it's just not me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Become less yourself. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I feel
definitely.
that.
Definitely.
Word. So what's some of the things you kind of spoke to this a little bit, but what are some of the things that you're doing now to keep your spirit alive, or do you have any sort of words of encouragement for artists that are out there struggling?
Yeah. Well all right, there's a book I've been reading. I'll grab it
Okay.
real quick. Um, this book, I've just been diving a little bit more into philosophy.
Okay.
And this is a book that I found really incredible. It's called The Four Agreements.
I've heard of that. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So it's by Don Miguel Ruiz,
Okay.
Ruiz.
Mhm.
And basically, the principle is that there's four agreements that will break a lot of the negative agreements that we've made with ourselves,
Mm,
society, and the world growing up. And those agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions,
mm.
don't take it personally, and do your best.
Okay.
Those are the four.
Okay.
They're real simple,
Yeah.
but I'm finding it to be very life changing. Like
Yeah.
it's really simple stuff, but when I start practicing them and when I start speaking that into
Mm-hmm.
my day to day,
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding that I'm communicating more clearly. I'm not so affected by other people's energies and what they're putting out.
Mm.
And overall, I just feel like I can stay more focused, on working on being the best me I can be every day.
I feel
So
that.
I found that to be very helpful and just like a helpful alternative to like just being on YouTube all day or Netflix or
That's real.
whatever, just having something to like filter some of that. Cause there's just so
Mm-hmm.
much, I feel like there's so much media being blasted at us right now,
Yes.
even more than before. So just a little piece, and I'm not saying I'm like sitting around reading philosophy all day, because I'm definitely not. But just like,
Yeah, like a good point.
something in like a little bit of reading here and there in the morning or evening, put in a half an hour.
Yep.
It's I like these kind of books because they're short, but like they're still very potent,
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
read just a few pages, you'll have something to think about and kind of, ponder throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I found that to be very helpful.
Okay.
Along with like, bike rides,
Mm-hmm.
going to
Mm-hmm.
parks, stuff like that has been also definitely very helpful for sure. Yeah.
Oh, man. That book seems incredible. I know those things are very simple, but they're also not easy, right? So
No,
like,
not at all.
it's a simple concept, but like being impeccable with your word takes a lot of follow-up. That's not just a thing you do and it's done. It's like, no, I have to continue this until I pass from this earthly plane. I
Yeah.
gotta like
Yeah.
do what I say until I'm gone, like
Right.
uh
Right.
that's not an easy thing to do. Simple
No.
concept, not an easy thing to do. I really appreciate the one about don't take it personally. I think I
Yeah.
struggle with that one. I think my word is getting pretty close to impeccable, but I definitely struggle with taking it personal when it probably isn't about me, but somebody else's trauma or they're feeling their emotion,
Yeah.
and then I'm there and they're talking about it, or it's something that like we have a group project together that we're working on and they're not feeling,
Right.
great about it. It's like, God, fuck,
Yeah.
what did I do? Like
Right.
what's wrong with what I'm doing that this person is not feeling great about what we're doing? And that's hard, but I appreciate that, because if I stop doing that, man, it frees my own energy up to do a lot of
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing I've been realizing. Like, I've been thinking a lot today actually about like power,
Mm,
and how
okay.
much power I have as a person, and
Mm,
also how quickly I give my power away
mm,
in
yeah.
all these little in these little ways. Like when I could be doing something myself, instead I'm waiting for somebody to get back to me on this, or I'm waiting for this thing. And
Mm,
what ends up happening is I put my power in so many places that then I feel powerless, when really I've got more power, because if something's not moving, I can just make my own moves
yep.
and keep going. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's
Keep your
kind of
foot
what
to
I've been on lately, is trying to, just kind of like know my power and use it wisely.
man.
Yeah.
Listen to that, people. I almost want to do a mic drop on that, but we got to come on. For real.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I'm gonna just let that settle on people's brains for a second.
Cool.
Using your power wisely, especially about the thing about giving it up. Man,
Yeah.
whew, that was powerful. I appreciate you for that.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
So, what's
Yeah.
one of the first places you want to go once this is all over with that you can't go right
Oh man, that's a good question. Definitely FarFetched Studios, man.
Yeah.
I want to get in there and get some sessions popping off, man. Like,
Yes.
I'm really excited about that.
Man.
Um,
Yeah.
really, more than like going somewhere, I want to just get people together,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and really just get more into like curation.
Okay.
I've been thinking a lot about starting to curate jams
Okay.
and recording
Oh,
sessions.
okay. Yeah. Jam sessions. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Just since I know so many musicians, I have like this kind of like inkling of like, oh, I bet this person would sound really dope with this person,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. I'm really like I'm interested in exploring that more when all this is over.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like I know I could be doing more kind of stuff like I don't know, sending files back and forth and all that, but I'm more of a as a creative person, I'm more of an energy atmosphere kind of person. I like to have
Mm-hmm.
everybody together and just get that flow going and kind of work within that.
Yep.
So,
I
and
feel
that's sort of just my tendency towards music anyway, which I didn't really realize until quarantine started. But like, I'm definitely an in-person creative. I need to sit
that.
down with whoever I'm working with and
Mm-hmm.
start going. Um,
That's powerful to know that about yourself, though, because that'll help your workflow and your process moving forward. You won't be banging your head against the wall trying to do the stuff that you know doesn't work for you. You can just do
right,
the things that work for you. And if people aren't working in that framework, then maybe you just don't need to be working with that person at that particular time. Maybe they come back
right,
around.
right,
Yeah,
right.
not wasting your time trying to
Yeah,
do other stuff.
exactly. And the things tend to come back around.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly.
if things are meant to, if things feel like they work, they probably do work. It's just that we don't have necessarily the timing.
Right.
Like if
Timing.
it's not our timing, that's what I mean. If
Yeah.
things will fit, that means it'll happen. It's
Maybe
just
not the
man,
right
it's
time.
not up to us. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
exactly. Divine
yeah,
timing.
yeah, all the
Yeah.
way, divine timing. Yeah, that's what my song Affirmation is about.
Man, I love that's why I love that song so much. I hope people pick up on it. I know it's in a couple different places. It's on Prologue 9. You put it out as a single. And
Yep.
people will probably get wind of it again when we put out an EP for you. But I
Yeah.
hope people just listen to that message because it's like it I don't know, your song gives me some peace in knowing that like everything's happening at the right time. I don't really have to worry about trying to make things happen. It's just like this is where I'm supposed to be right now, the
Yep.
way it should be in Congress with, the natural laws and you know
Yeah.
cycles. So I appreciate Affirmation and you and Jamarco especially for making that. And you produced that, right?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. Yeah. It
Tell
was
me
kind of
Yeah, tell me about that a little bit.
so it was that whole song was like kind of an affirmation in and of itself.
Uh,
Um we got together, DeMarco and I got together and I had already laid down some drums
mhm.
and we both just sat at the keyboard together and just started like jamming out
Wow.
together on the piano and
Wow.
we ended up making this loop that is like what you hear throughout the song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
was like we literally played it together, like on the keys and
That's
stuff. And
amazing.
so we pretty quickly got the hook written like that day, and I wrote a verse and recorded that.
Mhm.
And then we just kept going. Like it was like our
Yeah.
commitment was just matched,
Mm.
the whole time. It was like we're gonna do this song and then we're gonna do a video.
Mhm. Mhm.
And everybody kept showing up and things moved around. We Nothing really went the way we thought it was going to go,
Yeah.
but in the end it all worked out.
Mm.
So it was cool to just follow a song through from the very beginning to the very end of like releasing with a video.
Yeah.
And Damon Davis did the album art,
Mhm.
which was
I
such an
love that.
honor just to have. I feel like that was another thing I did not expect, but it was just
Yeah.
so sweet to have that cover made. And
For
yeah,
sure.
man, it all just really worked out. And it was also in a time that was personally a very complicated time and
Mm.
just a
Mhm.
stressful time. So to
Yeah.
have something like that work in a time when so many things
Yeah.
weren't working, it was like, okay, I
Things
feel
are
good
still
about
good.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's definitely, I think music like that, music with a message is something that I personally I need to keep going. And that's why I make
Yeah.
music like that, because I know it'll get me through the day.
Yeah.
Whether it gets someone else through the day, I don't know. Hopefully it will. It's not really my concern though. You know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you got to make the music and express yourself artistically. It's nice to connect with other people that feel the same way, but ultimately, you got to express that for your own personal, mental, you know, health and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you think anything positive can come out of this self quarantine and everything that's going on right now?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I know I don't really like to speculate too much on like the global
Hmm.
aspects of things, but I know personally, I think I'm going to come out of this a lot more ready for the opportunities that are available when
Mm.
things open back up.
Hmm.
Like, I'm definitely ready to start hitting the gym again. That was something I started slacking on.
Yeah.
You know, like there's things like that, you know, personal goals.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I feel like if I'm focusing on making the most of the situation,
Hmm.
other people will also make the most of their situation
Yeah.
just by modeling by action, you know. So
Mm.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Totally.
I feel like there'll be a lot of good things, you know. I know we're saying this is the new normal. I think that's good. It's good to accept the situation, but also I
Hmm.
know that this too shall pass,
Yeah.
and there will be new things that will occur that are good things. I don't believe this is the end of the world. I know there are
Yeah.
some
There's people
folks
who
who are
think that.
very scared.
Yeah.
I respect fear. I choose not to live in it though.
Mm.
You know?
Say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you gave me a quote some time ago. I think it came from Poet about, but I mean, it's probably, people say it all the time.
Yeah.
Uh, Danger is real, fear is not. And
Yep.
I mean, that's another simple statement, but it's not easy to necessarily delineate between the two. It's like, yes, danger can happen. Maybe somebody's robbing you at gunpoint, and
Yeah.
it's okay to be fearful in that moment, especially. But
Yeah.
like, that's a real thing. When you're being fearful, is like you're making up something in your head, may or may not be that way in reality, but you're making
Yep.
up something in your head and you're being fearful about it. There's really no reason to do that.
Yep. It's actually it kind of connects to something I read in the Four Agreements.
Mm,
Um I'll just hold up the book again while I talk about it. So
yeah.
in this book they talk about heaven and hell.
Okay.
And what he says is that we live in heaven and hell at the same time.
Wow, I've thought that forever.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So basically, like what you're talking about, living in fear, that means we're creating our own hell mentally.
Mm,
We can
mm-hmm,
also create our own heaven.
mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of what agreements we choose to believe
Wow.
and how we choose to live our lives, because people are living in hell and heaven right now.
Yep.
And I bet everybody watching this, including you and me, know people who are living in hell and people who are living in heaven, people who are scared, people like it's right there. And I know every day I wake up in some degree of hell or heaven, you know, and I'm just trying
Yeah.
to navigate my way back to getting into that heavenly state, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Does it say anything about limbo or like a purgatory or any in between state?
Yeah, limbo, I think really right now is limbo.
Yeah, where we're at, the
Hmm.
baseline existence. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the limbo is just us. We
Mm-hmm.
are the limbo.
Mm.
Like,
That's interesting that you say that, and the you kept saying the word, and as you were saying it, I like to think about the way that word sounds, but also like the components of the word. And limbo makes me think of limb, right? So
mhm,
like we're just like this appendage of this one energy or whatever.
mhm,
So we are all in limbo to some degree. We're all a limb of the heaven or the hell that can be created
mhm,
depending on how you shift your energy.
mhm,
Huh.
mhm.
Word up, man. I'm gonna have to pick up that book.
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
gonna.
definitely, man. I highly recommend it, man. It's solid. It's some solid stuff, and it's just written in a way that it's very easy to digest and understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of really base level truths that I think all of us as humans experience. It's kind of just a like dialogue on the human experience.
Okay.
But it's based on ancient Toltec um,
Hmm.
teachings and practices, which
Okay.
are that goes way back to I think
What do you know where that civilization is from, or?
South America. I think it's
Okay.
the Mayans or the
Okay.
Aztecs. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. It gives more details there. I don't focus too much on that. I focus
Yeah.
more on just the writing itself. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
it's
that.
solid. It's solid. It's a solid philosophy, and I felt for a long time like certain moods are just they're so bad, and it's like I see the whole world differently in
Mm.
those moods. Anger and
Mm-hmm.
anxiety. Those things are really strong, and the longer that I'm in those kind of places, the more it wears on me, and the
Yeah.
harder it is to connect with my essence, which I believe is pure love.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think at our core, we're pure love, and we feel that love. It's just there's so many things that happen from childhood that just it hurts us. We get bruised,
Restraints.
we get
Yeah.
scarred. You know what I mean? I
Yep.
think that's why being creative is such a beautiful tool because it helps us reconnect with who we really are.
Mm.
And I think
Yeah.
the greatest artists are ones who find themselves in their work and
Yeah.
search to find themselves in their work. I think a lot of creativity is made externally for external means.
Mm.
People want status or money or fame, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of insecurity I think inside of creativity starting out.
Yeah.
It's very scary actually. So it makes sense to try to kind of prop yourself up with what we see around us is supposed to
What
prop
other
us up.
people?
Money,
Yeah.
fame,
Yeah.
success, sex, all that,
Mm.
and I think especially in hip hop, like talking about hip hop, there's a
Mhm.
lot of that in hip hop. But
Yeah.
the greatest artists though, all of them, even the ones who talk about all that, like they live that too, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But the
Mhm.
ones who can find themselves in their art form, that's an MC right there, somebody who finds himself in it. Because
Yeah.
once they find themselves in it, they are able to direct any crowd, any song. They know
Right.
where to take it because they know where they're taking themselves. It's like
Mhm. Mhm. Once you
it's
find out who you are, it's easier to take the path ahead.
straight up,
Yeah.
straight up. I think hip hop is one of the best tools for that because rap lyrics, it's the purest form of this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, this is what happened.
Yep. Yep.
That is powerful. There's a great deal of power in that. That's why lyrics matter,
Mm.
words matter.
Yeah.
I also, hey, I'm not to diss on like mumble rap or any of that too. I feel
The
that too.
vibes matter. Vibes
Vibes
matter.
matter. You know what I mean? Vibes matter too. So my personal goal is like, let's take those vibes and then also put some real lyrics up in there
I feel that.
and watch that grow.
Mm.
That's kind of my thing right now. So when y'all hear this EP that I'm putting out, you'll kind of hear that
Okay.
connection. You know what I mean? And
Word.
just we really took the vibe through different genres, and
Mm.
it kind of we let the music take us places. We
Okay.
didn't really try to direct the music. We just let it direct us.
That's dope.
So it's
That's
cool,
super
man.
dope. Yeah, I know that. Just going back to what you first said, there's a quote that says, "We don't see the world as it is; we see the world as through who we are." And like,
Mhm.
who at what, and that really just means like whatever you're experiencing, whatever emotion you're having at the time, that's how you see the rest of the world. So like, maybe somebody said something that was basically innocuous, but because you're in a bad place, you take it the wrong way, and then that just
Right.
spirals and things like that. So I really appreciate that you were saying that. Keep your vibe high, and the rest of the world will take care of itself.
Yeah. Just remember, hey, it's like I just got to remember my power, man, because that's just about every time I start getting like stressed out, it's because I feel like I don't have any power in a situation.
Mm,
And the fact is, I always have power in any situation. I
yep,
can maneuver myself out of that shit.
yep,
It's just like training my brain to go to that place instead of like sitting around like, oh, why didn't this person do that? And like they said they were gonna send me this and they didn't. And like, how am I
mm,
gonna get my car fixed by the blah blah blah? Like all this kind of
yep,
random shit. It's like, dude, I don't know. I could just say fuck all that and literally pick up a phone and call this person, like whatever. You know
right,
what I mean? It's like
right,
moves can be made. It's all about, you know, working within the confines of the moment, you know,
Yeah.
and just like doing it. But that's like,
Yeah, asserting your power, taking
and that's
action.
not a bad thing. I feel like we're like living in a society that's like, when you hear people say like claim your power and use your power,
Mhm.
people are like, oh, power, I don't know, like,
Yeah,
but
because
nah, it's not a bad thing. Like
yeah,
power is
action.
not bad inherently. It's
Yeah,
about how you use it. If I'm
exactly.
using my power to sit around and stress all day, then I'm not using my power properly, and that's not good
Mm,
power. I gotta like
yeah,
flip it on its head.
word. I can talk about this stuff all day, but
I
I'm gonna
know, I
let you
know, I
go.
know.
Let us know where people can contact you, where they can find your music, or anything else you want to
Yeah.
plug.
You can follow me on Instagram at Not West Gray. Follow me on Spotify at West Gray. That's WESGREY.
Okay. Word.
And I will be posting updates on Instagram and also Facebook. West Gray, WESGREY. That's where you'll find me.
Tight.
Yes,
Well, thanks
sir.
again, man, for joining us today. I appreciate you taking some time. This is a great interview. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
thanks, man.
And yeah, we'll keep it going. And of course, to the people out there watching, you can actually find Wes's music on wearefarfetched.net. But anything Farfetched, that's where you can find it. And until the next time, peace out, y'all.
Peace.